All right, it's time for another episode of Back in Time Brothers. I am DJ Paulie, and as always, I have my brother Lou, who is also the birthday boy today. Happy birthday, brother.
Well, thank you so much.
Yes, man. How does it feel to be 21 all over again?
I've been 21, several times, haven't I? But
Yeah, I think I have too, so don't worry. So today we're gonna jump into a fun episode of food. We're gonna talk about food.
Well, you absolutely gave, I think, everybody a little teaser with your promo on the food. So you talked about going to Flavortown, and I think we need to make sure we deliver.
We are going to Flavortown. We're gonna do diners, delis, and desserts all day.
I love it. Triple D done our way.
That's right. That's the only way to do it, man.
Cool.
So let's jump right into the episode. How about we go right in?
And you know what I want to do first?
Oh, tell me.
Pizza.
Oh man, pizza. Oh, it's my favorite. My favorite.
So we've eaten pizza different parts of the country. When you've got, of course, the New York, New Jersey style Neapolitan, the thin crust. You've got the Sicilian. You've got Chicago deep dish. And then you've got different flatbreads and all different types of things. You know, California, very veggie and pineapple pizzas, things like that. But what are we going to focus on?
I think we need to focus on good old fashioned walk in the pizzeria, get a slice of pizza, Jersey style.
I like that.
Yeah, I think that's where we need to start. And there's just nothing that I can compare. Any kind of pizza that I've ever eaten, there's just nothing like a good old fashioned Jersey slice of pizza.
What makes that so good, do you think?
Well, other than the size of it, which is humongous, but it's a thin crust, it's a light sauce, and then it's just that nice golden brown melted cheese, that mozzarella cheese that just sizzles. It's popping in your. I mean, I'm drooling right now just thinking about it, honestly. But it's just that, oh my God, I can't even explain it. It's that first bite you take. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Well, yeah, and there's an art to eating a slice of pizza because it is so large. It's bigger than your head.
Yeah.
And you've got to do the old fold method.
Well, and our buddy Guy over at Diners Drive-Ins, Triple D, I'll just go with Flavortown. Let's just do it right. He has a way to eat the sandwich. He has that whole famous thing. So pizza, we do it. We fold it in half. Okay. Yep. And you get that nice fold. And then you bring it up to your mouth. And usually, because the slice is so big, that front end is kind of flapping over a little bit. But then you got a hand on the back of the crust. Okay. And then you got another hand kind of on the front of the pizza. And then you put that first bite in your mouth. And it's the best bite in the world. I'll put money on that bite anywhere. That's that first initial taste of a nice hot slice of pizza out of the oven. You got that grease dripping down your arm. It's just, it's the best thing in the world. I could probably talk a whole episode just about a slice of pizza, honestly, but that would kind of get boring after a while, I think.
As you're describing it, I'm smelling it, and it's that aroma that just goes through you. And when you take the bite, that first bite is because you go through the cheese and then you hit that crust, the nice crunch that comes off of that. And the process of eating the slice of pizza can do like serious damage to your mouth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's like freaking pizza carnage in your mouth.
Yeah. You get that hot slice and you're burning the top of your mouth right away, the roof of your mouth. And you got that little piece of skin that hangs there for days and you're playing with it. And you're like, oh, okay, well, it was worth that. It was worth it for the slice of pizza, though. Especially, I don't think I've ever had a bad slice of pizza in Jersey, honestly.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no doubt.
It's amazing. Yeah, it's crazy. And I think you hit on something when you said, like as I was describing it, you said the smells, and that is so key because when you walk into the pizzeria, you're getting that smell. You're getting so many different smells because you have, pizza just doesn't sell pizza. They sell other things as well. Sandwiches and pastas and garlic knots and all kinds of great things. So you're getting all the garlic smells, and you know, just the ambiance of the place. It's a lot of these places are just little holes in the wall,
Yeah.
and you just walk in with a little showcase in front, and there's big pizzas hanging out of the showcases, and it's like they're teasing you, like, look at this, which one do you want? And you go up there, and you just look at it and go, okay, well, I want a slice. And a slice is a cheese, just a plain cheese pizza. Nothing,
Yep.
nothing else on it, right? If you want something else, you get a pepperoni slice, or a sausage slice, or a white pizza slice, or whatever the case may be. And then I don't know about you, but I always put oregano on mine.
Love
That's
oregano. Yep. And
that.
and red chili pepper flakes. Has to be.
You like the red chili flakes,
Oh
didn't you?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Red pepper. Yep.
I like a little parm too, a little Parmesan cheese on there too, is a little bit on there as well. It
Okay.
just
Yeah.
gives that little saltiness with the pizza. It's nice,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing. So that's a classic Italian, pizzeria. I had a good friend of mine, my best friend actually, in New Jersey, Carmelo. No, I'm not making up that name. It's a true name, Carmelo.
Hey,
Didn't change the names.
Yeah.
We didn't change the names to protect the innocent, right? This is legitimate. So he
So
used to
he's
work
not
at
in witness protection.
I can't answer that question right now.
All right.
He used to work in a pizzeria. It was called Vinny's Pizzarama on Hamburg Turnpike in Wayne, New Jersey.
That's a crazy name. That's just a perfect name. Vinny
Right.
Pizzarama.
Pizzarama. Hey, yo, Vinny. How you doing? Hey.
That should be like in a Quentin Tarantino film or something,
It really should.
Oh my
and
gosh.
And it was funny because you'd walk into the place and there was the guy flipping the pizzas right behind the counter, and he's throwing the dough up in the air, and the other guy's in the back and he's throwing sauce on it and throwing cheese on it and throwing them in the oven, and just that wooden plank that they would put the pizza in and pull them out, and you got another kid up at the counter taking your order, for usually a high school kid taking your order, and it was a bunch of characters in there. You're right. It could have probably been a Quentin Tarantino movie because it was like a lot of fun in there, but no one getting killed, which is good. So that's a good thing. But great pizza.
Other than your mouth.
Oh, well, that's true. And going home with just a full stomach because of eating too much.
Yeah. You get scarred eating
yeah,
pizza.
you do.
You got the grease running down your arm, you said. It's like, my gosh.
But it's worth it.
Oh, it is.
100% worth it. Do you remember Brother Bruno's Pizza?
Brother Bruno's, I remember that.
It was the round.
Yeah.
It was like, remember that round little building? They had good pizza there too. I mean, like I said, I don't think there was a bad place in Jersey that you could get. Even in Patterson, New Jersey, we had Frank's J&D.
J&D? Yep.
Which was huge slices, amazing. And then there was this little pizzeria that was owned by a Spanish guy. It was called El Sol. Do you remember that?
Oh, that's right.
On Park Ave.
That wasn't bad either.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah.
It wasn't, it wasn't an Italian guy making the pizza, but I'll tell you what, it was good pizza when we lived over when we lived in Patterson.
Yeah.
So like I said, great places, tons of places. And I'm sure people that are listening to us have their favorite pizzeria, but I really wasn't picky. I a good slice, and I was content. So, but that's the thin slice, right? We talked about that.
Yeah, and that's the go-to. That's what we're always going to go for. And what I love about pizza in general is it's such a value, because you can pick up a couple of slices and a drink, and you're paying $4 or $5, and it fills you up.
It does. It does. I remember the lunch special when I was in high school. You go to the pizzeria, 2 slices and a soda for like, $4 or $5 or whatever it was. And it was a quick, in and out, boom, boom, boom. You eat your meal, you get back to school. And it again, 2 slices of pizzas, Jersey slices, they're filling you up. They're huge. They're not, little tiny slivers. They're these gigantic, monstrous pieces of goodness. Goodness, as I can say.
They are.
But now, another pizza that's big is also the Sicilian, which you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, so Sicilian pizza is the thicker pizza, but not Chicago deep dish. That's like crazy thick. And it's cut in squares. And I remember when I was in school, I went to St. Michael's Catholic School, and every Friday, Sunrays Pizza would deliver pizza, and that would be our lunch. So it was always a treat to have Sunrays on a Friday, and it was my first introduction to Sicilian. And I've seen Sicilian pizza in lots of different places. And for some reason, Sunray's pizza had a different look to it. It was like orange colored. I don't know what it was, but it was still really good and just a different type of pizza. And I know you like Sicilian, but you like a certain type of Sicilian.
I like the middle slice. I'm gonna speak it right now. The middle slice is, not doesn't have a lot of crust. It just has the bottom layer, and then it's all just cheese and the bread, the dough. Um, I'm not a big crust guy. Even with the thin slices, I'm not a big crust guy.
Yeah.
But um, the middle slice is my go-to. And you like a different kind of slice of this.
Yeah,
right?
I really want the corner. And if I can't get the corner, then I have to get at least one edge. But
Okay.
yeah, I need the crust. So let me ask you, if you have something like brownies, are you looking for the middle in the brownies, or will you go for this edges because it's a little bit more caramelized, a little thicker on the edges? Do you avoid that as well?
Well, when I go to Brownie Town, I'm going middle all the way, baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm right in the middle. Yeah, I go for the middle. I don't really like that whole crusty kind of stuff. It depends what it is, but brownies and pizza, no, we're going middle.
Yeah. Okay. Go.
Yeah. And you like the crust.
I'm a crust guy.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. Speaking of crust, okay, let's talk about bread. Jersey bread.
You know what? We're gonna go Jersey bread, but I just thought about something.
Okay.
We should give some props to North Dakota for a pizza that I love, and I can only seem to get there because I've been like in search of this type of pizza at other places. They don't do it the right way. And the type of pizza is taco pizza. Might sound a little bit
Okay.
crazy, but sometimes you'll get a taco pizza and it's a Mexican style pizza that instead of the tomato sauce, they put a taco sauce in there, and it's just a little bit of meat, some nacho cheese on it, and maybe some nacho chips, and really that's it. Maybe some black olives on it or something like that. But North Dakota, what I love about it is they give you kind of a beef pizza that then they layer all this lettuce over it, tomatoes, cheese, sometimes olives, sometimes sour cream, and so it's like a taco salad, and then the chips on top of it, and it's just a hearty pizza that I just love.
Sounds like a fiesta going on right there.
It is a flavor fiesta of pizza.
Flavortown Fiesta of El Taco Pizza. Sounds great. I am not a big taco person, as you know. I'm not lettuce, tomato, sour cream kind of guy, whatever. But you do, and I remember you talking very highly of Bob's Pizza in Rugby, the taco pizza.
That's right.
So I do recall that. So good shout out for the taco pizza.
There we go.
And it's rare, but when you said something about pineapple before. So let me ask you this: do you think pineapple belongs on pizza?
I do not like pineapple on pizza.
Okay.
You?
And a lot of people do. You
do like the ham or the Canadian bacon with the pineapple. I mean, yeah.
I mean, we have a pizza where I work. It has pineapple, Canadian bacon. It's basically, we call it the Surfer Boy. But we have a pizza that has that, and I guess I'm not really saying I wouldn't eat pineapple on pizza, but it wouldn't be my first choice.
Yep,
for sure.
Yep, I agree. I'm traditional. Though of course I will go the taco pizza, but haven't had a taco pizza in I don't know how long.
Yeah, give me a cheese pizza. I'm very content and happy.
Definitely happy.
Yeah, without a doubt. So okay, so what do you think now? Where are we going? We're going. We did pizzas a little bit. We want to keep going.
The key to a good pizza is the dough.
I agree.
And dough, obviously, it is bread. But I think what makes New Jersey either pizza or New Jersey breads so different is the water. And that's why we've been so fortunate when we've lived out there to just be able to have great pizza, great Italian and French breads and rolls and whatnot. And that's something that sometimes you don't capture that in other areas of the country.
No, you don't. And there's even places here in North Dakota that are using a water filtration system where they're getting basically the chemical DNA of water in New York and transposing it to here. So they're able to use that chemical breakdown to get their water to be like New York water, which is really just insane and crazy, like to do that. And there are a couple pizzerias here in the Bismarck area. Um, One that's been around for a while. They are actually from New Jersey, and they make some really good pizza. I would say really good. They make some good cheesesteaks also, and they have great bread. And then there's another place that just opened up not too long ago, which they're the ones using that water filtration
Mm.
system. And the pizza's good. That's not bad at all. But to me, it's still not home. It's not Jersey, but
It's better than
it's
hot stuff pizza.
yeah, it is. It's
Sorry.
better than a frozen one. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
but yeah, so they are doing stuff like that, and so that says a lot about the water. Then if people are doing it in different parts of the country to get that kind of that DNA of the water, that whole chemical breakdown of it, whatever, that means something. So that means New York and New Jersey water is doing something right for sure. Yeah, the bread. I mean, right, bread, dough, all that kind of stuff, amazing. Just you can't find good, fresh. I can't even explain how good the bread is. It's just crazy, It's a food group.
Eh,
Bread is a food group
Yeah.
in the East
Yeah,
Coast.
it can be the main course for sure. And I love the fact that what we did when we were young, and I remember my grandfather taking me to it'd be like a Sunday after church, and we'd then go to the bakery. So you went to a place, you didn't go to the grocery store, right? You went
No,
to
no.
the bakery to get bread. And it was just going in there, line of people, the smells that were coming out of there, and sometimes these
Mhm.
bakeries had other pastries and things like that, but we were always there focused on the bread, and we always used to get, depending on the place, French bread or Italian bread, and the French bread is like the baguette style, and then you have the
Right.
the Italian bread, which is a little bit whiter, and but both are fantastic. And I just remember just wonderful memories of getting it after church, getting home, just the crust on it is unbelievable, soft on the inside. And then you had your option, if you were making eggs and bacon stuff like that, you'd have some bread with it. You could put butter on it. I used to love, when I was a kid, I used to dunk it in coffee all the time. I could go through, I think, almost an entire loaf of bread and just
Yeah.
dunking it. It was just crazy.
Yeah. You're right. I used to actually, you were saying how you pair it up with things. I used to pair my bread with more bread. That's how good it was. So
Yeah.
I don't
So
know.
Italian and French combined, a little mix,
Yeah.
or double
Yeah.
French,
Why not?
triple French. Yeah.
Whatever works. Fantastic stuff. Yeah. Um, yeah, I do remember, the bakeries going and picking out the breads, the loaves of bread, and I do remember the smells. It's certain things in your life that you remember certain things, and smells are such an important part of them, and walking into a bakery and just smelling that bread warming up, cooking, or whatever the case what it was, or coffee, or some kind of pastry that was baking. You remember that kind of stuff, and bread by far. And there were many bakeries in our area. I mean, there was options that where to go to get bread, but I know there was certain ones that we stuck to, right or wrong.
Oh, absolutely. But you
Yeah,
just triggered a memory when you said smells, and there were bakeries around. I don't know if you remember, but from our house, you could smell the Wonder Bread factory.
I do remember.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Every morning, the smell of Wonder Bread going was just
Oh,
unbelievable.
yeah, and we also had over by the Wonder Bread, there was also a Hostess
That's right.
outlet, remember? And they had like Twinkies and the cupcakes and everything. And God, I mean, oh my God, I remember that. You walk into that and you could just smell,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, calories and potential of diabetes. But I mean, you smelt it when you walked in. It was great as a child, maybe not so great as an adult, but you know,
Yeah, you didn't think about those things back then for sure, but the memories that you get from smells is
yeah.
unbelievable, because as we sit here and talk about it, I'm reliving it. I'm sure you are too.
Oh yeah. I wish I had a pizza in front of me right about now. I'll tell you,
Pizza,
I'm still back on pizza.
pizza, loaf of bread, and oh my gosh.
And just even like the classic Italian dishes out there, like so many Italian restaurants, and Colucci's was one of our favorites in North Haledon. We used to go to all the time, and actually I've had first dates there. I mean, we had all kinds of things. I brought my firstborn child was the youngest baby to ever go to the restaurant. I brought him
Ah,
after we had the baby.
yeah.
Alex was the youngest. So these are places that you walked in and you just these pastas, these penne alla vodka, chicken parm, and cavatelli and broccoli, and all these different things that were just fantastic and phenomenal. So so that's another thing. I remember those smells of the food coming out, and then these big plates of chicken parm and pasta, and lasagna and eggplant parm and everything else. So good stuff. Good stuff. So I just kind of went on a little bit rant of a rave there with Italian
You
food. Sorry about that.
completely went crazy there. Yes, you did. But that's okay because
I did. I don't know. I was just thinking about it. I couldn't help it.
no,
Just came
that's
out.
cool. But how scripted are we? Really, we come up with some ideas, then we just go with it. There's no script, so that's okay.
Wait, there's no script? What's going on here?
What are you reading off of?
What page are you on? I don't know. No, this is all ad lib at its best, ladies and gentlemen. At its best.
Well, best is a loose term in this situation, I think. But anyway, so bread. We talked bread. Some of our favorite bakeries, remember Minardi's and Gianella's and places like that, or Gianella's. And then along with bread, bagels. We've got to talk bagels.
Man.
Bagels is such a staple in Jersey, New York.
Again, another one of those things that just bagels were a Saturday morning thing, a Sunday morning thing. People at the they had tons of bagel shops.
Oh yeah,
tons of bagel shops in New Jersey. And you found the one that was your one that you went to, and if you drove 20 minutes to that bagel shop, you drove 20 minutes to that bagel shop because that's the one you wanted. And you didn't need to because there was one out in the corner.
Exactly right. Yep.
But that's what I'm trying to make the point. That's even though all the bagels were good, there was just always that one place that you kind of like. That's my go-to. And and a bagel is just what, Lou? It's a water boiled.
Yeah, if you do it right, you take the dough, you boil it in water, and it kind of rises up, and then you put it in the oven. Some places just bake it, and they don't go through that boiling, that water boil process. And I've had them both ways, and one is very dense, and the other one's very light. So the boiled one's very light, and so you have that nice. You can hit the outside of the bagel, and I love the sound of that. And then you just crunch that in the middle. You've got that fluffy white inside that's just unbelievable. And then it comes in so many damn flavors and types.
Oh, my favorite was always the sesame. Was my favorite bagel.
That's mine too. If it's toasted just right, and then you get the sesame's toasted, you got two flavors that are coming up there. Because sesame that's toasted is just wonderful and aromatic, and it tastes great.
And you were probably a cream cheese guy, right?
No, I was a butter guy.
Oh, me too. Okay, I don't like cream cheese really,
but I will have cream cheese if I'm having something like a plain bagel. I'll do cream cheese with a little jelly or jam, something like that, because I need a sweet component to the cream cheese because it's not quite sweet enough on its own.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I just like the nice sesame bagel with the plain butter on it. I was very happy with that. And like you said, because if you got the right toast, you got that toastedness of the sesame, then you got that little bit of crunch from the bagel. Then you went to that center, and it was just nice with a nice buttery, and it's a little bit warm still. It's kind of melting, and you got all these different textures going, and it's just amazing. So good.
Yeah.
But bagels are crazy good, man.
Bagels and coffee was a great way to start the day. What was your drink for a bagel? Chocolate milk or no?
I do chocolate milk. When I was younger, chocolate milk, but then I would go to coffee as I got older. But chocolate milk or orange juice.
I couldn't do that. I could not do orange juice. No, that just doesn't work for me. Yeah.
Just recommendation: I wouldn't mix the chocolate milk with the orange juice, and you'd be all right. So,
Oh my gosh.
don't do that.
No, that's great. And besides the sesame, which we love, and we talked about, you had the plain, you had the everything, you had the onion, you had the garlic, you had cinnamon raisin, blueberry, there was cranberry, whatever. They had so many different, or strawberry one I think I've seen before too.
They had the egg flavored ones too.
I never tried that because for some reason I was weirded out by that. It had this yellowish tint.
Yeah, I didn't do it
right?
either.
Yeah.
Yes, it was weird looking, and like it was like left behind or something. It's like, oh, let's sell them today.
It's like on the island of misfit bagels or something. It's just very strange.
Oh, very good reference there. I like that.
Red-nosed reindeer.
Yeah, we're getting close. I think there's only like 11 more Fridays before Christmas.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I mean, bagels, once again, value there. You could go in, you order a dozen, they give you 13, and then you take them home. And how long do those 13 last?
About an hour and a half. Pretty quick. They're gone, depending who's over. Yeah, because I used to put away like 2 of them.
Yeah, 2 was the max for me because you're full. You're down for the count for a while.
And then also too, remember now at these places where you got bagels, you could get like egg sandwiches made. You could get all the other things made with these bagels. So my go-to was always Taylor ham, egg and cheese, salt, pepper. You could get on a bagel or a hard roll. Yeah. Yes. And on the bagels, the bagel is kind of a mess because in the middle, everything's coming out the sides on the middle of the bagel. But Taylor ham, man, oh, what a staple in New Jersey. That's such a key breakfast item.
What is Taylor ham?
It's like a pork roll. So they call it pork roll in South Jersey, and they call it Taylor ham in North Jersey.
So it's not like a traditional ham necessarily. It's got a little different what?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like what you're thinking of, like sliced ham.
Right.
It's not like that at all. Taylor ham, it's really basically like it's a pork based, obviously ham.
Well, thank goodness for that, because something
thank
in
God
a
it's
roll,
pork,
you never know what the hell's going to be in it. So
it's not spam. Okay. That's what I can say. So it's just basically like it's pork processed. It's like comes in a roll, and you slice it, and you can slice it like almost like it's kind of like round Canadian bacon, right? Something like. Yep. But different kind of texture, a little bit different texture. It wasn't a ham, but then they would cut the ends and then kind of make it like fork slits in it. So when it cooked, it would kind of bubble up a little bit, and you flip it. You get like a nice brownness to it, nice charred grilled marks on the flat top. And they would throw an egg, then American cheese on it, salt, pepper, ketchup, and you got a meal.
So boom. How do you have the egg done?
Me? I did over hard.
Okay, so you did hard. If I'm going to do that, I got to go easy on it.
Okay, so now let me explain though. So now if I did the sandwich, like just say in the morning for breakfast, it would be over hard. But now when I went to the diner and got it at the diner, and that would be kind of like an over medium. I wanted some yolk coming out of that.
Yes. Was it because you were on the go? Because sometimes I could grab a sandwich and eat in the car on the way to work.
Yeah, you wouldn't want egg like all over your clothes going to work, just yolk all over. So, I mean, yes, but you still have ketchup on it, so that could go anywhere too. But I guess, I don't know. I guess maybe that's the reason why. I don't even know.
Yeah.
I think really the reason I did the over medium egg was at night was because I was drinking.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that could be for sure.
So, that kind of helped a little bit.
So I would say then, if you're going in the car, hard no on the medium egg. You want a hard egg.
That's a Texas size 10-4.
All right, so we covered bagels.
Yes, we did.
So
we covered pizza.
Pizza bread. I think it's time to take this to a different level. A staple of Jersey and a dining experience that I don't know, everybody, can really say they've done this, where you have 24 hours of anything you essentially want to eat. And what is that experience?
Diner experience.
Diners.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Diners, part one of Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, right? That's what he talks
That's right.
about. Diners. And so diner is, like you said, 24-hour experience. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're open 365 days a year. They are never closed. They're open on Christmas Day, everywhere, everything, Thanksgiving. And basically what that is, that menu consists of everything from appetizers, breakfast, sandwiches, lunch, burgers, steaks, lobster, shrimp. You can get anything you possibly want.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Not yeah,
crazy.
it is, and it was the diners were really really big, for after everyone was out clubbing. So everyone would go to the diners after, drinking all night, dancing, having a good time. And then basically the diner became the after party. You'd have all tables and it's like, oh, those are the people I just saw at the club. Everyone was there and they would order the food to one, get them not so drunk and to get them home. So they were not, hung over so bad. And one of those staples was called disco fries. Disco fries is, basically steak fries, and they're fried, obviously in the fryer. They're put into a plate. Their brown gravy is poured over on top, and then they are covered with mozzarella cheese and a little bit more brown gravy, and then baked in the oven.
So bubbly
Oh,
cheese.
oh yeah, bubbly cheese, brown bubbly cheese.
It's the only way to have cheese. Well, there's other ways to have cheese, but it's so good when it's hot and bubbly. Buble.
Yeah. Buble. Yeah. Very good. And that was a staple. Like that's what you started off with. And, whether you got a burger with it or whether you got, Taylor ham, egg and cheese with it, omelets, whatever, but you kind of started off with either, the disco fries or you started off with mozzarella sticks.
Yeah.
And mozzarella sticks, everyone has mozzarella sticks. It's like a staple on every menu, every appetizer, wherever you go.
But there were some places that had some kind of like really substantial mozzarella sticks.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And I should have did a show when I was just wandering around and tasting mozzarella sticks because I became a connoisseur of it. And me and my friends, we would, yeah, I know. Wow, we're connoisseur of mozzarella sticks, but we would go and we made sure we went to certain diners because they had certain mozzarella sticks that were better than others. There was one diner called the Six Brothers Diner in Little Falls, New Jersey.
I remember that.
Right on the intersection of Route 3 and 46 there where they split. Yep. And there was a nightclub down in the basement, actually DJ'd there.
Hold on. Think about this. You've got a place that has everything you need. You go to this club, have a great time, have drinks, and then you got the diner right after. It's all self-contained.
It's just stumbling up the stairs and you're good. Yeah. You make it. It really is. It's smart.
It's like being on a cruise or something. You've got it all right there for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. And so after the club, you'd go upstairs, or if you weren't at that club, you drove to the Six Brothers, and they had these mozzarella sticks that I used to call baby arms.
What do you mean baby arms? What does that mean?
That's how big they were. They were huge.
Baby.
And it was just filled with cheese, just filled with mozzarella cheese and a nice side of marinara to dip in. And you dip it into the sauce and then you put it in your mouth, you take a bite and it's just cheese just pouring out of the stick. And and they give you like 6 or 7 like mozzarella sticks. They were huge,
man.
I don't think it could. I mean, it's a great way though to get that buzz that you have from the club from drinking. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. I mean, I would think that just that alone would just take care of everything. I mean, that's a lot of food if you ordered just that.
Yeah. And sometimes that's all I did was order just that because it was like, you're full after that. It's like, you got, you got 20 pounds of cheese in you, like from these sticks. It's like crazy. It's like constipated for a week after that, but it's worth it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Worth it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but you could get everything from, like I said, you could go there and get a surf and turf.
Yeah. Some were a little bit fancier than others, but generally speaking, you could go to just about any of those diners and get 3 o'clock in the morning, go ahead and order, surf and turf, which is just nuts. And it's actually good.
It's really good. They're using quality. I mean, the TikTok diner in Clifton, which I know on Route 3, that diner, I mean, they had like a chef in there. And like this guy's putting out quality items at 3 a.m,
Yep.
like just like stuff that's like presentation and like you're like, wow, I just wanted a burger, and there's like this thing comes out like you're in this fine dining restaurant, getting this meal, and the food was fantastic, delicious. I mean, just amazing. So, and again, the diner's food was always quality stuff. They put out good stuff, good food, and all the adventures that came along with being in the diner with everyone is that's also fun. But that's probably another episode. But it's just amazing. The food was quality stuff.
Yeah,
Great.
what I loved about the diner experience, besides the people watching and the great food, because it was always fun to do that, it was like critical to the entire night. So let's say either you're taking someone out or you're with friends, that is how you cap off the night. You go into the city, you would go ahead, go drinking, go dancing, whatever, go see a concert, come back, and then you hit the diner, and that's how you ended it all.
This is true. 100% right. Like at the club, we were talking about what diner we were going to go to when the club closed. Like that's how vital it was. That was so important. It really was. Like, hey, where are we going after? It's like, oh, let's go here. Let's go here. No, it's like we all had to agree on it and vote on it. Like this is the one we're going to. We'll meet you there. And that's what it was. It really was. It was the end of your night. Like I said, bringing the after party kind of to the diner, and then you cap off that evening with meal and friends and fun, laughing. Having a good time. So
Yeah, the diner experience is like no other, and such an important part to growing up in Jersey. And I think even the like kids in high school, they go to prom, they hit the diner afterwards.
I did it
There you
after my
go.
prom. Yeah, we went to diner. Yep. Done.
So we said we were going to do diners. That was the first D. And of course, we had, of course, pizza and the good stuff after that. But what was the next D in that we were going to cover? I'm talking about delis.
Oh,
I think the delis were really special in New York, though. I mean, those had
yeah.
those are the big time delis. But Jersey has had its delis too, and I think we can agree that all the delis were great because they had the great quality of meats. I mean, you had the roast beef, the ham, the turkeys, but then you had the pastrami's, and they would just stack them up 6-7 inches high.
I love delis. I mean, for me, the deli experience was the showcases where you would walk in and you're standing there, and well, I guess also too that just the everyone standing in line yelling out what they wanted. There, it was just kind of like fast paced, and they're getting these sandwiches out and getting them out, banging them out 1, 2, 3, especially for lunch. But they had these showcases where you like literally would walk in and you're seeing, in the showcase you have olives and you have roasted red peppers and tomatoes and fresh mozzarella, and you got chicken cutlets that are ready to go. It's just a thin sliced chicken breaded, and you're making these. They're making these sandwiches, and mine was always I always did a chicken cutlet with fresh mozzarella, roasted red peppers, and balsamic oil and
Oh,
vinegar.
that sounds so damn good.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, and you could also, you could get your meats and get, a pound of this and take it with you, Genoa salami and some provolone, and you get your ham, your capicola, or as in Jersey we call it gabagool,
Gabagool.
things like that. You could get that kind of stuff. Hey, gabagool, yeah, that's an Italian ghost.
All
It's
right.
gabagool. Yeah, that's a dad joke. That was bad. But so you could get all that kind of stuff and take it home with you, and eat your sandwich there, and then take all these cold cuts home, and and we call them cold cuts. That's what they call them
Mhm.
back then. It wasn't deli meat or a guy go get the cold cuts, and you get the nice provolone cheese and all the different cheeses, and you make an antipasto when you got home with it, olives and tomatoes or whatever else, and just it was and then of course bread, bread with that. So deli experience was really really cool, but the deli experience was really big for lunch. I
Definitely.
think was when people really hit it. Get that sandwich quick. They get a sandwich in and out. 5-10 minutes they're out. They can enjoy that sandwich and get back to work. So um, that's really
You know
cool.
what I used to love to watch is you'd have someone that would go in and they'd order a couple of pounds of something, and then they'd start eating it as they're like, coming out of the counter.
Oh yeah,
Half of it wouldn't even make it out the door because they're just sampling all of it.
yeah,
So it's pretty funny.
yeah. Don't do that with me with provolone and like salami.
Yeah.
That'd be out the door. I would be eating it right on the
Yep.
way. Yeah. Yeah. And now, and a lot of the delis now too, that what they're doing is they're doing like hot meals. You could go in there and get a lasagna now, and you can get, they're having entrees and stuff. So it's become, not only the deli meats and the cold cuts and stuff, but they're also doing, you can come in and pick up, oh, we got meatloaf today. We got, specials and stuff like that. So it's becoming it's much bigger than what it
Sure.
was. You know what I mean? It's become a lot more options, I should say, to take home with you.
Yeah. I really want to talk about something that we used to just love and eat a lot of back in the Jersey days. Not that we don't eat like this now, but hot dogs were just something different and special out there.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, in New York, you'd have the carts, you'd have the Sabrett hot dog carts, and the
Sewer dogs.
dirty water dogs. Yeah.
Sewer dogs, dirty water
Yeah,
dogs.
those were great.
Yeah.
And but we had some real staples in New Jersey, especially in Clifton. There was one there. I know you and I were, because we live near there. The
Grill.
Hot Grill, and this place
On Lexington Ave in Clifton, New
yeah,
Jersey.
and I love their commercials. Do you remember the commercials for the Hot Grill?
No.
They were funny. Yeah,
God,
because
no.
they had this guy. They used to say something like, "And don't forget those fries with gravy." So something like that with the Hot Grill, right?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yes. Yes. I do remember now. They had not a huge menu. There's a smaller menu, from what I remember. They had the Texas, and they weren't hot dogs. They were Texas
Wieners, Texas size.
because they were really long,
Yep.
right, and thin, and they hung off the bun. They didn't fit the bun. Then you could get gravy on them or chili, and fries with chili or gravy, and then they had roast beef sandwiches with gravy. I think they had burgers too, hamburgers and things like that. But the Hot Grill was known for its French fries with gravy and their Texas wieners,
Yep.
without
Yep.
a doubt.
So good, and I love just the wiener had a snap almost. I didn't want a soggy wiener. I
did.
wanted that the outside, and then once again, it's like that crust, and you wanted it to snap. And so then when you bit into it, you just pierce it, and then the juices would come out, and there'd be really those flavorful
Oh,
juices of all the different herbs and stuff that that it was just great. And the chili sauce that's on there, onions and mustard. But what I really enjoy about the charm of these places are the way you have to order the food. Because I know how it
Mhm.
is when you go to like to Philly and you order your cheesesteaks, and each place has a way that you have to order it, with or without or something like that. You have to say things like that. But what was the cool stuff over at Hot Grill?
So the Hot Grill, you could go in there and you would order, I want 2 hot dogs, or I want to order fries with gravy, or a roast beef sandwich. You could order it that way, but the people behind the counter called it back a different way so that everyone in the kitchen
Ah.
understood it. So, like for instance, so if you ordered French fries with gravy, they'd call it a Frenchy one. Okay, and if a roast beef, it'd be a beefy one. And one all the way. That's hot dog all the way. So, when they're calling out this order, this guy would be like, I need beefy one, Frenchy one all the way one. I got you, guy. What you need? And that's exactly what it was, just like that.
So that's cool because you're in line, you're ordering food, and they're putting on a show for you with how they're ordering the food.
And as they're putting in the order, they're already talking to the
Yeah.
next guest. So it's like, beefy one, Frenchy one, what you need, guy? I got you. He's already talking to the next guy. I'm done with you. I got your order. Let's go. That's next. And this food's coming out just bam, 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 good stuff and great food. Like you said, you gave such a great description of the wieners, the Texas wieners, man. It really did have that snap. It was fantastic. So that was a lot of fun because I used to love going to Hot Grill and just listening to them talk and call the orders out. It was fun. And I'd be sitting there imitating at the table. So yeah.
So good. Yeah. And
beefy one. I got
love
you,
it.
guy.
Yeah,
What you
so
need?
many great places in Jersey, Rutt's Hut, which is just classic place. And we had Falls View, Teddy's, Libby's Lunch.
Man, Libby's.
Yeah, just
lunch.
great places.
Oh God, Falls View was great because it was near the Patterson Falls in New Jersey, and I always remember the little forks that they gave you. They're like little toothpicks.
Yeah.
So your fries, so you
Those
can
are
scoop
cool.
them up. As like little pitchforks as we call them. But that's kind of just again stupid things I remember as a kid because we went there all the time, and it was a treat, to go to these places and get those hot dogs and get the wieners with with fries and gravy or fries and chili. So good stuff, good
Yeah, well,
times.
I think this now. I think it's a good segue into ballpark foods because we always, we're big Yankee fans. We've gone to games for many, many years and seen many games. And going to a Yankee game was a rite of passage. You go there, getting there is a process, and then getting to the stadium, you've got the options of all kinds of foods on the outside. So you might grab a dog on the way in. Then when you get inside, you've just got this smorgasbord of options because stadiums now, and even back then, I mean, they may have been more limited back then, but now you can get just about anything. I can get sushi in Dodger Stadium, so it's just crazy. But Yankee Stadium, and our dad was just a huge fan and lived to take us to these games. And I just remember the man was on a mission when he went to the game.
Yeah, he was. He would literally like an hour before the game tell us that let's go, we're going to the Yankee game, and we get in the car and drive and get there, and then this guy, like you said, our dad was huge Yankee fan. He used to listen to the Yankee games on the radio while he was sleeping when
Mm-hmm.
he'd go to bed at night. It was I watch him on TV, listen to him. So he'd get there, we get to the stadium, we get sat, and me and you were sitting there. It's probably bottom of the first inning, then dad would go, I'm going to go get some stuff. I'll be right back. And he showed up about fifth inning with arms just loaded up with food, roast beef sandwiches, French fries, um, pizza, so I don't know, everything. Like it was amazing. And we would have this smorgasbord of food at the fifth inning. It was like people have the seventh inning stretch. We had the fifth inning feast is what we had. It was crazy.
Yeah, he had an art to it. I would imagine he must have had things like mapped out in his head as far as what he had to hit at a certain time to get the certain food that he wanted. It was like a scavenger hunt for him. And then when you come back with these trays of stuff just stacked, and there was an art to it because he's carrying drinks, he's carrying food, and he's got just like layers of it, and it was amazing. And the poor guy, because he was so committed to finding the food, he missed most of the game.
He missed like the home run and he'd come back and like, oh, so and so hit a home run. Mattingly hit a home
Yeah.
run. Oh, I was getting roast beef sandwiches. It was more important. That was more him to, granted, taking us to the game and being together was a great part of it. But I think it meant a lot to him to do that food journey. I think it really was. It was important to him and something special that he liked to do. So
I think, yeah, the food journey is a good call. I think that's exactly what it was, and as him being a provider and him making sure that we enjoyed the experience, had the food for the experience, and it made the experience. Let's face it, we love watching the games, and when you have the food, besides peanuts and Cracker Jacks and cotton candy and all these other things that they have there, it really made those special. And he passed that along to us.
he really did. Yeah, uh, yeah, that's all I could really. You're right. You nailed it on the head. He passed it on to us. He did. So
And then when you exit the game after the Yankees win, then you go out there and I used to love the smell and everything. You'd see those guys with the kind of these homemade rigged charcoal grills that are got the pretzels roasting on there, and they're oh my
yeah,
god,
I'm sure they were definitely not approved by the city of New York, but
no, those
those
grates
pretzels,
were like
though.
crusted with
Oh,
stuff. Just,
yeah,
but it didn't matter. It was
yeah.
flavor.
Flavortown. There
Uh,
it goes.
so
Yeah, the pretzels were amazing. Oh my god, that smoky charredness of it, and then the salt on it. Or if you didn't want salt, you liked mustard. I'm not a mustard guy, but
yeah.
just give me a plain pretzel, man. I was content with the salt and just man, it's a little crunchy on the outside, then soft and warm and
Hmm.
delicious on the inside. God, I'm gonna need to eat something soon. I'm getting
Oh,
hungry.
I am too. Oh my gosh, so good. So, so I think we got to hit our final D.
I think so too. I think that's and it's not really something we have to spend a lot of time on because there's really one or two things that we really want to talk about when it comes to desserts, and we both are in agreement
Do
with
it.
this. And that is definitely the Italian rum cake.
Oh my God. Italian rum cake. And if people don't know what that is, it is the most luscious, moist dessert that you can have.
Scrumptious, just oh my! I every adjective that explains anything delicious, that's what that cake is.
It really is. I mean, rum is great on its own. Okay. Now you add it to desserts and it's fantastic. But I still love the way you could almost take your fork, you'd cut through it, and the moisture would be on the fork. And it's just rum. It's just fantastic. And then you've got the custard in the middle, could be vanilla or chocolate, and a wonderful, icing on the outside, almonds, and sometimes chocolate. It's so rich, and it just packs a punch.
It's pure
Pure
moisture,
moisture. I love that. I love that.
delicious, the most amazing. I tell you what, I haven't had an Italian rum
Yep.
cake in a long time. I would love one. I would love one right now. Seriously, just I mean, you're right. Everything you described about it, bro, was
Mm,
exactly
mm.
to the T. Perfect. You could not explain that cake any better. And and then of course there was tiramisu, and and there's cannolis, and I loved a good cannoli, and um and you had all the different Italian cookies and Italian pastries and espressos and cappuccinos, and and every time I go back to Jersey, I always get together with my buddies, and we always hit this little pastry place, and we always get, as my daughter will say, "Hey Dad, you got to go get a little
Hey,
pastry and espresso." A little
hey.
pastry and espresso, that's what she says it. Hey,
Uh,
forget about it. But and it's good, and it's just those little things that but the Italian rum cake, oh my God, it's just I honestly, I don't even care to talk about another dessert. We could just talk about that one and be good. We're done. Like it really
yeah,
doesn't matter.
that was yeah
It's like,
that, and you're right. And cannolis were huge. We love cannolis, and let's face it, North Dakota is great for desserts.
oh, yeah, that's definitely North Dakota can bang some good desserts out. They got some good
Oh,
bakers here.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love, all the different types of bars that are made from, the scotcheroos and other different variations of that. They have Coogan and kind of a custardy dessert, and the pies they make are fantastic. You go to any wedding party, dance, funeral, you're going to have a smorgasbord of stuff, and the desserts and the bars that are going to be there rival a lot of what's sitting in some of the the finest pastry shops. It's just fantastic.
I agree with you. Different areas and different desserts, but you're still getting that quality dessert from these things. The Scotch Roux bar is just basically a butterscotch Rice Krispie bar with chocolate on it, but there's just
Mm.
something about it. It's just really amazing. And like these bars where they have with coconut on them, and they go to definitely high lengths to get a good quality product out. And so they're doing the right thing for sure.
And and these recipes have been handed down generations, and they like to do like Jello, like Jello mold stuff, and all these
Yeah,
different. Yeah, those are good. Yeah, it's crazy, and different types of glorified rice. Kind
trifles, they
of
do trifles a lot, and
trifles.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of yeah. Desserts are great. I mean, there's a lot of good food in North Dakota too, but
there is,
the
yeah.
desserts are good, really
There
good.
really is, yeah. One thing I remember about desserts was there was a cookie or some kind of bar that your wife would make, and
Yeah,
Beaver House cookies, right?
they were Beaver House cookies, exactly,
Oh my
and
God,
so
amazing!
they were. So I'm trying to think how she made them. You melted chocolate, you had oatmeal peanut butter in them, and obviously some sugar, and they were no bake. So you kind of whip them up, and then you just drop them down, and then they would kind of harden, and
Yeah,
then you'd have this just wonderful cookie. It was just that oatmeal, and that peanut butter with the chocolate. That just
money.
it's money. Yep,
It
yep,
really is, and
wonderful.
I know she gave me the recipe a few years ago, and me and my daughter made them, and
Oh,
they were really, and I think I lost the recipe, so I'm gonna have to probably hit her up for the recipe again. But
yep.
they were fantastic, so good, and I remember her making them all the time, usually around Christmas time or somewhere in that. I kind of remember that happening, but they were so good. Such a It brings back such good memories with that as well. So I had to bring that up as for desserts because it's a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah, no, that's a good memory. I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
that used to be a staple for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. That's good stuff.
Well, bro,
Yeah,
I don't know about you, man, but all this food talking has gotten me super hungry.
yeah. No, there's no doubt. I think it's time for us to go grab something because I think we've overworked our senses here and need to fill ourselves up a bit.
I agree, and I think what we're gonna do just for fun. I think I'm gonna do a poll on our Facebook page. I'm curious how many people like pineapple on their pizza and how many people don't. So maybe we'll do a poll and get some feedback from some of our fans out there. Make
Okay,
it
yeah,
make it
that
fun.
sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds good. Yeah, I'd love to hear other people's favorite desserts and maybe any other spins on any of the food that we talked about here. But yeah, if people like this episode, we can go to a second episode. We can talk about burgers and steaks and barbecue. And knows
Thanks.
I've spent a lot of time eating a lot of that. Oh my gosh! So that would be
Oh,
a
me
lot of fun
too.
to do.
Trust me.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
My doctor told me to get in shape, and I said, "No, oh, circles of shape." So that's what I'm going with.
That's exactly right. Oh my
No, it's
gosh!
good. But yeah, I mean, so you got your birthday today. So why don't you go enjoy the rest of your birthday? That's the
All
first
right,
thing.
all right,
And then
great.
we'll get together and we'll get another episode out. And we appreciate all your feedback. We appreciate the support, guys. Keep it going. We are on Amazon, correct?
We are now on Amazon as well as
Awesome.
Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Overcast and all these other things. Yep.
Yeah. So you have many opportunities to listen to us, and keep it up, guys. We appreciate the support. And that was our little journey into Flavortown. We went some foods, and we hope you enjoyed. And we'll be back again with our another episode of Back in Time Brothers. You guys have a good one. I'm DJ Paulie, and I got my brother Lou, and we are out.
See you guys.